Circles and Circumference, explained by Justin D'Souza. The learning objectives of this lesson are to know the precise definition of circle and find the circumferences of circles. And then we are to find measures in intersecting circles and true relationship between circle. The keywords of this lesson are circle, center of a circle, a radius of a circle, chord of a circle, diameter of a circle, pi, and concentric circles. We will come across all these keywords in this particular video. Parts of circle. Let's look at this figure. Here you can see there's a circle and there's a center and there are some lines. A circle is a smooth surface. It's only one shape. So it doesn't matter what size of a circle it is. If it is a circle, then they are similar to each other. All circles are similar to each other. This is important to know. They are all similar but not congruent. Depending on the radius, they'll be the congruent or similar. Now look over here. Let me just draw another circle. Say this over here. Imagine that's a perfect circle, or this one over here bigger than this, or another huge one. Now what I want to say is they're all similar, but they're not congruent because the radius, the sizes are different. Therefore, they are not equal or congruent, but they are all similar. So you don't need to, like in triangles, before in the previous lessons we have seen, we had to prove they are similar to each other, whether their angles are equal or two sides and everything. But here, circles are always similar to other circles. Now let's look into the few of the parts of the circle. This is a circle. Now, this outside region, see the circle runs around like this, right? Whatever I've highlighted, that is the circumference. Circumference, it's basically like a skin. Now imagine you measure this, you can take a tape and measure the circle outside throughout. That is the circumference. If you have a ball, a playing ball, start from one point and then move around the tape and come back to the origin. That is the circumference. This is very important. And then you can see the center, which is a crucial point because the center is a point where you can draw radiuses. Now I'm drawing lines. Whichever lines touch the outer part of the circle, see the circle over here, right? The circumference. Those lines are all radius and they are always equal. So that is a special property. Now, whenever you draw a line starting from the center of a circle and it touches the outer surface of the circle, this over here, the circumference of the circle, that is the radius. Now over here we can see these are all radius. These are very important because from radius we can find a lot of other properties of the circle as well. But now if you look carefully, this one is a single line which came from here till here. It not only passes through the center, but it also touches the two sides, the ends also touches the side ends of the circle, right? Look at this line. Both the ends are touching the part of the circle. So, and it passes through the center. This is a special type of radius or special type of line called the diameter. Diameter means it's always two radiuses. See, this is one radius plus this is one more radius, right? That is two times radius, that is diameter. This is important to know. Now one more line over here just apart. See, it doesn't touch the center or anything, but it touches the ends of that line, touches the circumference of the circle. Now what are these? These are called chords. Now even a diameter is a chord. Why? Because both the end points of that line touches the circle. So this is few of the things. The diameter is the one which touches the ends of the circle and also passes through the center of the circle, whereas a radius is a line just from the center of the circle and it touches a part of the circle from the center only. See, this is a radius, this is a radius, this is a radius. A chord is a line which doesn't pass through the center, but it touches the ends of the ends of the line touches the circle, both the sides. So these are the few things which you must remember. The circumference is the outer skin of the circle. And radii, you might see over here, radii, what does that mean? It's the plural form. If there are many radius, we don't tell radiuses. It's a radius only for singular. Radii means many radius. And then we will just quickly talk about the circumference. Now, before I begin, let's look over here. See, pi is given by C by D. You might know this value of pi is 3.1415. It keeps on going. It doesn't stop. Now, do you know Archimedes is the one who found pi? He found it long back, okay, in the BCs. So Archimedes, before this was called as Archimedes constant. Recently it's been told as pi, but this was actually Archimedes constant. Now Archimedes is a scientist, a philosopher, Greek philosopher, mathematician. Now what he did was, he was fascinated by circles. So he took a lot of circles, different types of circles, different shapes and everything, huge, small, big, everything. And he used to measure a lot of dimensions, a lot of measurements in the circle. Now, what he did was he came to know about the center, so he used to find the radius, the diameter, and everything. And he was fascinated by one thing. He used to always find the diameter of different circles and this circumference. You know, he used to take a measuring tape or something, whatever was accessible over there, and he used to find the circumference. And then, whenever he divided the circumference by the diameter of a particular circle, and then one more, a different shape circle, it's not the same at all, a different shape, a small circle, that circumference, the small circumference divided by that diameter. So what he found was all these values were coming close to 3.1 or something like that. He was not accurate enough, but he was one of the first person to find the pi value. He came to know if you divide the circumference by diameter, you're getting pi. And then eventually the pi value was found out, and now we know pi is so widely used. So this is the ratio, it's the circumference by the diameter. Now here you can also change this to radius, isn't it? Now what is diameter? It's 2 times radius. So let me just take this off. You know, pi is the ratio of the circumference by the diameter of a circle. So we can find the circumference as pi into d. Just take the d to the other side. Or we can write circumference as 2 pi r. Why? Because diameter is 2r. These are the important formulas which you must remember. And now we will start solving problems. The first problem over here is to name the circle and identify a radius, a chord, and a diameter of the circle. You just have to identify a few. Let's identify all of them. Now, first they want to identify. Let's first see the center. What is the center of the circle? It is x. So how we denote the circle is basically a circle like this, x. That means the circle with the center x. This is the symbol. Now over here, the center is important. See all the lines that are originating from x and touching the end of the circle. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are 4 radii. That is xv, xt, xz, xu. That is the radius. There are 4 radius. What about chords? There is one chord over here. Sorry, this is rs, and there is a diameter zt. There are 2 chords. And what about the diameter? There's only one diameter, zt. So these are the answers. Easily you can see them and write it out. So this is what we call the center, like the circle. This is the center. Okay. Whenever we mention a circle symbol and any letter, that means that's the center point. And then there are 4 radii, which we saw, 2 chords and 1 diameter. Here now we have to find the radius of the circle given the diameter. See, TU is given. What is TU over here? That's the diameter, right? So that is given as 14. What is the radius of the circle? We know diameter is 2 times the radius, or you can write radius as diameter divided by 2 if you divide both the sides by 2. So you know radius is unknown, sorry. You know the diameter is 14 by 2. That's 7 We units is feet, so 7 feet is the answer. Just dividing by 2. It's very simple problems now. That's 7 feet. And now over here, you can just solve another one by yourself. It's just that they have given us the radius LM, that's 11 inches. What is the diameter? Diameter will be 2 times the radius, that will be 22 inches. That's it. Now let's look into a real world problem of finding circumference. Here, traffic circles. Traffic circles, also known as roundabouts, are circular roadway that reflow traffic in one direction around an island. A car enters a traffic circle and is 18 meters away from the center of the island. So now, for example, here, imagine, let's take this car, okay? This is how much from this particular land? It is 18, sorry, this one is 18 meters. What does that mean? That is the radius. R is given as 18. Now, what do we want? We need to find the circumference, right? If the car drives around the traffic circle until it is back to its original position, what is the circumference of car's path? Now, it just goes like this and takes a turn. Correctly, it takes a turn. Now, what is the circumference? How much path did the car travel? That's the circumference. We know C is equal to 2 pi r. So all you need to do is substitute the value. C will be as it is. 2 pi r is 18. So all you do is multiply 18 into 2. It is 36. Pi is the answer. We generally leave pi like that itself. Sometimes, yes, we dissolve it in the sense we multiply this answer, but we can leave it in terms of pi. It's fine, okay? So let's see over here. Oh, sorry, they have solved it as well, but this much is enough. Now, you can just press SD in the calculator and you will get this answer. 113 meters. The units is meters. That's a very important. Don't forget the here also. It must be meters. Meters. Now, let me just show you, if you're using calculator, how exactly you can solve it. Here, all you need to do is type it as it is. 2 pi is by shift and the symbol over here, 10 raised to symbol. And then what you do is multiply it with 18. Now your answer will be 36 pi. But if you want in terms of decimal, all you need to do is press this ST, you will get the answer. 113.097, so it becomes 113.1. That's the circumference. It's about 113.1 meters. Now we have one more. You can try this by yourself. Pause the video now. There are options, so it's easy. And do check your answers in a while. I hope you've tried to solve it. Let's read the problem. Many automobiles have customized rims that are attached to the wheels and align with the inner edges of the tire. The rim of a tire has a radius of 7.5 inches and the width of the tire is 6 inches. Okay, find the circumference of the rim. Now let's look over here. They are just asking you what the rim, circumference of rim, not of the tire. So don't go to add this or anything. It's just that find the circumference of the rim, and they have told the rim of the tire has a radius of 7.5 inches. The circumference is given as 2 pi r. That's the circumference. Now all you need to do is substitute 2 pi and the radius r is 7.5. So multiply these things. It's just 7.5 times 2. It's 15 pi. And since we are all are in pi, you can just say this is the correct answer. Let's see the part B. What assumptions did you make while solving this problem? Select all that apply. Now let's look into all the options. I assume that the radius of the tire, no, we did not assume the radius. The radius is already given and we can't assume radiuses directly. I assume that the tire rim was perfect circle. Yes, because we use C is equal to 2 pi r, which is the circumference formula of a perfect circle. I assume the width of the tire wrong. We didn't take this. I assume there was no space between the tire of no, this is also not true. I assume that the tire and rim were not the same shape. You can't do it should be the same shape. It should be a circle. So only B is correct answer over here. Let's see the answers. C and B. That's correct. Now we have example number 4. Find the diameter and radius of a circle to the nearest 100 if the circumference of a circle is given as 77.8. Now, what is happening here? They are giving you the circumference. You need to find not only the diameter, the radius as well. So the easier way would be just find anything. You can find either the radius or the diameter. This formula or C is equal to pi d. Anything, whichever is easy. So it's easy to find d, and then you can divide it by 2 to find r, or you can find radius and multiply it by 2 to find diameter. Let's do. Here circumference is given, so it's 77.8, that is equal to 2 pi r. Let's do both this sides because it'll be the same thing. 77.8 equals pi d. Now you need diameter here, so take pi to the other side. It will be 77.8 divided by pi, that is the diameter answer. Here it will be 77.8 divided by 2 pi, that will be r. Now you need to use your calculators and solve over here. All you do is put it in the calculator. 77.8 divided by 2 pi. The answer is 12.38. I will show you. Now, this is the radius, right? Now, if I multiply this by 2, I'll get the diameter, that is 24.76. And even if I solve this, it'll be the same answer. You can see 77.8 divided by pi, which was the same answer. So 24.76, and divide this by 2, this will be the radius, 12.38. So these are the answers. It's 12.38 radius and 24.76 as the diameter. Now we have a check problem. Please do try this problem by yourselves, and then we will continue to solve it. I hope you have at least tried it. Now here the circumference is given. All you need to do is find the diameter and radius. So let's recall the formula. Let's write it out over here. So you can use any formula. Circumference is pi d. This is a simpler one. So we don't want circumference, we want diameter. So it will be c divided by pi, that is the diameter. Just take out your calculators and solve it. Here we have 84.6 divided by pi, that is 26.92. So this would be the answer, and if you just divide it by 2, you will get the radius, that's 13.46. So that's approximately the answer, and yeah, that's it. This is the diameter, the radius. Now we will look into the parts of circle. So this is another important thing. Here we have two circles. They look congruent, but when can they be congruent? They are congruent only when the radiuses are equal. It's not any other way. The radii of both of these triangles must be equal. Then they are congruent. And here we have similar circles. In fact, all circles are similar, so there is nothing much about it. But there is something called concentric circle. If you have the same center, now look at the center. The centers are same, but the dimension, the radius is different. AB is smaller than AC. These are called concentric circles. Now we have a last problem over here. It is a very interesting one. You can solve it in different ways. Now they have given us the dimensions of few things. That's the diameter of the circle K. Let's write it out. This diameter is 12, the entire length. I don't want the entire length because I'm only interested in this line, I believe, because finding is just EK. So I will write what is the radius of this particular circle. This much is, the radius is, if its diameter is 12, the radius is half of it, 6. Now what about the other circle? The diameter of J is 20. So what is this dimension from here to here? This end, it'll be 10. And what else do we have? JD is known. JD is basically 8. So what do we want is EK, but we can't directly jump to EK. First, let's find DE. What is DE? The total length is 10, this much is 8, so this remaining distance will be 2. Okay, now what about this one? The total distance from K to D is 6, but we want only EK, so it'll be 6 minus 2, that is 4. So EK will be 4. That is the dimension, 4 units. Now you can do it in different methods, and yeah, the same method. First find DE and then subtract KD minus DE, you will get 4. This is how we solve it. Okay, looking at the figure, we can easily solve it out. That's the end of this lesson. I hope you have found this helpful and beneficial. Please do consider subscribing to my channel. You can scan the QR code and subscribe to it. It would mean so much to me. Also, do like and share my videos with your friends or your classmates who might benefit from it. See you in the next video. Happy learning and bye bye for now.